Good morning. I'm Patrick Windhorst, State Representative in the 118th District, which is all or parts of the southernmost 11 counties of our state. I'm a resident of Metropolis and Massac County, and I previously served as State's Attorney in Massac County from 2004 to 2018. First, I'd like to review some disturbing statistics that were made available by the Chicago Tribune and WTTW earlier this month. In 2022 alone, 112 people in Chicago have been murdered. The murder rate in Chicago is at the same point this year as it was last year. In 2021, Chicago reached a level not seen in 25 years, as nearly 800 people were murdered. The likelihood of a new murder record being set in Chicago seems almost a certainty. Violent crime is up 4% on the year, and there have been a 31% increase in overall property crime in 2022, following a 4-year decline in such crimes dating back to 2018. Also, these increases are after historic reductions in violent crime from the early 1990s to the mid-2010s. The attitude and policies endorsed by the Democratic supermajority and signed by Governor Pritzker have led to lessened penalties for criminal offenses and a removal of immediate consequences for those who violate some laws. Their policies have also hindered the police from doing their jobs in enforcing the law. We've seen murderers and shootings increase. We've seen the videos of the mob smashing windows and grabbing retail items on the Magnificent Mile. We've seen carjackings and theft rings thrive. On the first day of this spring session, in early January, I took to this very microphone to call for the repeal of the Safety Act. I have filed a House resolution, H.R. 598, and a bill, H.R. 4499, that would lead to the repeal of the Safety Act. The Safety Act had little to no public or Republican involvement. The bill passed the Senate in the middle of the night and then passed the House a few hours later in the waning moments of the 101st General Assembly. I was one of only 2 legislators who were allowed to ask questions of the Safety Act's sponsor before Democrats shut off debate on the bill. It passed, and Governor Pritzker signed it. House Republicans warned that recent bail reform efforts in 2017 had led to increased recidivism, and that the end of cash bail in 2023 would increase repeat offenders and cause major issues for our police. House Republicans warned that the Safety Act contained harmful financial impacts and unfunded mandates for local communities and police forces. In fact, just this week, the Westfield Police Department in Clark County permanently disbanded, citing the Safety Act's provisions and the costs therein for its dissolution. House Republicans warned changing legal standards for use of force for police officers would hinder them from doing their jobs. We also warned against allowing unlimited, anonymous complaints against police officers. As the provisions of the Safety Act have taken effect, we have seen the job of law enforcement officers become more dangerous and harder to do. Criminals are acting more emboldened than ever before. Repeat offenders are already being let out of jail with little to no cash bail, and the provisions of the Safety Act have only exacerbated the problem. We must change direction. Our citizens deserve to live in safe communities and neighborhoods where they can live, work, play, and raise their families without the fear of violent criminals being let back on the streets just hours after their last offense. Speaker Welch said legislation was necessary to address spikes in carjackings and organized retail theft. Governor Pritzker and the Speaker both indicated that at the start of 2022, that they would prioritize adequate funding for law enforcement to ensure police officers are properly trained and supported. To this point, the Democratic crime prevention package has yet to materialize. I am worried we are headed for a repeat of last January, when negotiations and discussions were occurring only among the members of the majority party, the very same party that gave us the Safety Act, without having any public or Republican involvement in those discussions. Republicans have introduced a package of bills designed to keep families safe and properly fund our police, but the Democratic supermajority has yet to allow a vote on such a piece of legislation. We filed the legislation necessary to improve public safety. Time is running out for this session. Now is the time to pass the bills that we are sponsoring to make it happen.